Talking to Jay Bilas from the Mothership, joining us, Dan Patrick Show. If you represented Trevor Lawrence's family, let's say they wanted to challenge this, because he's never going to be hotter than he is today after winning that national title, but could you present a case in a courtroom that would allow Trevor Lawrence to go to the NFL early?
No, it would never get to a courtroom. Maurice Clarett was the last one to try this. This is all sort of federal antitrust law. There's a it's from the collective bargaining agreement. This issue was collectively bargained between the Players Association and the NFL. So it's a special exception to federal antitrust law. And so what's always been really interesting to me, Dan, is sort of this idea that people say, well, you can go pro in the NBA out of high school because, players physically can do it. They can't do it in the NFL. They get killed. Well, that's, first of all, not the reason that there's that 3-year rule. Years and years ago, back when the NFL was just getting started, the NCAA put in a rule that if you worked in any capacity in professional sports, you were no longer eligible to work in college sports. So if you were an official and you reffed a game professionally, you could no longer work in college. If you were, an administrator, anything, a coach, and worked professionally, you could no longer work in college. So the NFL basically came to the NCAA, which was 10, 20 times bigger than the NFL. It was a fledgling league, the NFL at the time. They came on bended knee and said, listen, don't do this. You'll kill us. We'll never get off the ground. We'll leave your players alone until they graduate. How about that? And that's where the 4-year rule came in. Now, you know why it's 3 now?
No.
The USFL. In 1984, the USFL started drafting juniors, and they were taking the NFL's talent away. And so the NFL had a rule you couldn't draft them until 4 years, till they graduated. And so that's when the NFL changed the rule. And, I heard you guys talking before, and I think you're right. If the NFL had the opportunity, I think it would be just like basketball. If the NFL had the opportunity to draft good talent when it was younger, they'd do it just to get it. If you could draft Trevor Lawrence right now, you'd wait on him because he'd be worth it given the reliance that the NFL has on quarterback play. And so you'd have the same thing now. And I heard the Christian Hackenberg thing. You'd make mistakes. The NFL makes plenty of mistakes in the draft. They make just as many mistakes as the NBA does, and they have 5 years to look at these players. It's not an exact science in any sport. But that's all the draft eligibility rules are. It's 3 years because of a historic precedent that has lasted and that started at 4 and went to 3 because of the USFL. And it was all business. It had nothing to do with whether they could compete or what's fair or what's American or un-American. It had nothing to do with that. Basketball is a totally different history, and that's why their rule is totally different.
For more Dan Patrick Show, tune to Audience Channel 239 on DirecTV or download the Dan Patrick Show app.